Hi. Right, so we're live, and apparently the technical difficulties are a thing of the past, although stay tuned for that. So can somebody in the live chat, bearing in mind the 10-second delay probably, stop trolling and be a responsible adult and let me know that you can hear me, please, if that's all right.
Can you hear me? You don't need to hear Kay. All you need to hear is myself. Me. Yeah. See, there's a delay. I think there's a delay. The stuff that I'm saying arrives.
I didn't catch it. No, I didn't catch it. Something about demonic. Yeah, there is certainly.
Okay, fantastic. I think we're fine. I think we're good.
I think I'm hearing you in real time. Welcome everybody, by the way. Yes. All right then. I'll let the excitement begin. So maybe I close my Discord.
I think there's a significant delay.
AP, if you shared the link, because I know, of course, you're like on it organizational skills wise.
I did share the link, but I think you are hearing me very, very late.
Not here.
Can you raise your hand right now? Can you say Allahu Akbar?
I love it when a plan comes together. Take your earphones off, love. You're not DJing. Yes, please.
Wow. There's a huge problem, I think, with somebody's connection here. It's either mine or I did that with the raising hand like 15 seconds ago or so. There's a significant delay going on. I have no idea what's happening.
Right. We can both click out and click in. I have no clue. I'm not the tech guy. Okay, I'm going to close all my other crap.
This is so funny. This feels very weird.
Okay, finish this sentence. Ali Dawah is a...
Okay, start again. I had to think a little bit.
That's hilarious. I don't know how else to... Okay, talk among yourselves, everybody. I can leave and come back in.
Please do that. Please do that. Get out of here. Okay. What's the point? You will hear this like 10 seconds later.
I could hear it. Okay. Go have a look at the chat, AP.
Yeah.
He's only just heard me. Okay. All right. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I think maybe it will end. I have no idea.
What is going on? Hello, everybody. I have taken over the channel, and this is from now on my channel. What's up? What's going on? So, I came here to impose my beliefs and values upon everybody, and hi everyone. Jordan. Hi, Jordan. Yeah, I think she just has a terrible connection. It's like you just can't trust Kay. I don't even know why we're trusting her. You just can't trust her. You just can't trust anything that she does. It's pretty terrible. Now that she's not hearing me, I can just say whatever I want about her. Yeah, fantastic. So, Open Secrets said, we now are in a peace chat. LOL. Of course, man. I think I'm going to kick her out and block her from coming back in. Just kidding. I can't actually do that. Oh, there she is.
Can you hear me any better now?
Yes, I can. Can you raise your hand right now? Wow, it worked. Wow.
Do you remember when I said to you I'm using this new mic? And yes. Can you hear me properly?
Yes.
Yeah, it's now unplugged.
Was so
down with all mics. It must be because I did. Let's not pretend that I'm the tech person, because I just switch it off and switch it on again. That's my solution.
Yeah, I was just telling everyone how you are doing a fantastic job, and you are very reliable, and you are in charge of the technical aspects of things because you really get it and all that. So anyway, I'm happy that the stream.
Did you let them know you were late showing up, and did you let them know that? And we haven't decided any of that.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'll worship you now, obviously, and then later I'll have words.
Yeah.
Prophet.
All right. Now that we have fixed it and we are 5 minutes into it, let's start.
Let's do it, because we wouldn't want to be tardy, would we?
Yeah.
So everybody, this nutter to possibly it might look like my left. Who cares? The other person on the screen is apostate prophet.
Me.
I haven't really heard any prophecies that have come true, but he's definitely an apostate. So I might ask him some stuff about that. If you don't know what an apostate is, what you're doing there, quite frankly, but I'll go through that briefly after. I think the basic topic, maybe religion, potentially Islam, maybe similarities between Ali Dawah and Allah in terms of cohesive arguments, etc. But we'll find out, because we'll be guest-led, I reckon. So anyway, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Everything. The world is kind of a mess right now, right? So that is going on. I've been trying to kind of be disciplined, and kind of I've been trying to work and trying to produce content and trying to make videos and trying to respond to people and all that. Recently I had a discussion with Dawah, which was a very productive discussion. It was very intellectually enlightening, brightening, intellectually stimulating. Those who have seen it know what I'm talking about.
Is this a privately held one, or do you mean the one that I cringed through a fair part of? It was.
What did you think about that conversation? Was that like amazing to you?
Amazing in the sense of I was amazed. I've seen him walking and talking. I can't think whether it's at the same time now. I think he does stand still or sit down when he speaks, but it's not like I'm surprised anymore, because of course I've spoken to him in person, but it amazes me, the arrogance and I saw a further video of another Speaker's Corner Muslim saying, well, I'm hearing that Muslims in the comments are saying that Ali has damaged the Dawah, but let's not forget who he was discussing it with. And then obviously you were in glowing references. But my point, I guess, in my head, or what I was screaming at the screen, is it doesn't matter who refutes you. It doesn't matter who makes your religion look stupid. Like, his defense was his defense, and I wouldn't want to be banking on him to spread the word. So there's that.
I mean, it was just a terrible thing. I understand that Ali Dawah is
challenged.
I'm trying to be very nice. I understand that Ali Dawah is not a very bright individual. He's not. He cannot be described as intelligent, but at least I thought he collaborates and works together with people who are, at least a little bit more insightful and intelligent than he is. So how did it happen that they gave him the green light to go ahead with this very stupid plan?
A little story. It took me, it's got to be a couple of years. Initially, I didn't want to speak to him. Many times on camera, he's come lurking along, and I don't know, give him a couple of lashes of the tongue and he scuttles off. But then I thought, no, actually I will. He made some comments, which I've got a clip of them being discussed in Speaker's Corner that I'll play in a minute, that I found so distasteful. I thought, no, I really do want to speak to him. And I didn't ever publish it, but I had my mic on, that mic, one day, which he was unaware of. And he told me that I'm not allowed to speak to you, Kay. I can't speak to you. And I asked him who said so. He told me that Hashim had advised him not to speak to me. And Hashim went up in my estimation at that point. But I went and asked, obviously, I'm not just going to take his word for it. So I went and asked, and he looked at me like, no, I don't know what you mean. Of course, it could have been a fib. But, eventually he spoke to me, and I feel like he was proud as he walked off. So that gives some credence to your theory that he's a bit of a tard.
He actually said that? He actually said that he's not allowed to speak to you?
Yeah. My mom said, I'm not allowed to play with you.
That is
kind of thing.
That is so cute.
And it's so embarrassing, though. Imagine being like a cuck in that fashion. You can talk to maybe the visitors, or maybe like I don't know, just a random person who you identify in all your videos as a massive Christian preacher who's just walking in from the shops, who's going somewhere else, who's not even a Christian potentially. But yeah, he also had a debate with a friend of mine, Ben, and promised to put it up. He would have got spanked. I never got to see it. But then they just mysteriously disappear, those videos. They don't ever make it because of technical problems.
Of course. That's why. Yeah. So what happened is with him is we were supposed to have a debate. He obviously challenged me to a debate and said, "You are running from me. You will never."
I went to him for you to try and corner him to get him to agree, and he came out with his only on a lunar base on Mars, or whatever it was.
And the thing is, like, he challenges me, and I say, "Hey,
location.
I will do my debates like this. You can
now it's
you can challenge me online.
Yeah,
you're frozen. You're gone. We can debate online. It will happen." And he's like, "No, you have to come to England. No, I will come there. No, we will do it in person. No, we will do it in this arena and that arena. Whatever." In the end, I finally agreed to it. He said, in the end, I have to get a vaccine to get into America. So now we have to go to Mexico. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? You insisted that we do this in person. You insisted that you come to America. If you now can't come into America because of the vaccine, how is that my fault?" So, and then he accused me of running away because I wouldn't accept his Mexico challenge. And even most of his own Muslim friends and followers acknowledged that it is his fault, that he's being childish. What he did then was he said, "At least let us do this curse fest, this cursing event." And I immediately accepted that, and he presented that to his own people as if he had forced me to accept that, which is very funny. And Kay is gone. I think she's dead. I think she's dead.
I have no idea what's up. There's two of me now, apparently.
There are two of you now.
Well, I wanted to document in case Ali showed up. I don't know how to get... Okay, that one's removed. But it's still sitting there ominously like a I don't know, like a bad night out in my memory.
Yeah. This is so much fun.
So apparently Jabril is right behind this this broadcast. It is raining in England, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, it's the rain.
It could well be because we don't often have it.
Yeah.
So, anywho, please. I mean, I'm sure everyone else was following. You don't have to catch me up.
No, I was just very briefly summarizing the thing. Like I said, I'm coming to Mexico. He said, "Oh, you're running," and I said, "Yeah, sure." And even his own friends and fans said, "Hey, Ali, it's your fault, you idiot."
Does he have friends?
I don't know. And then he said to me, "At least let us do a Zoom session and do this cursing event." And I said, "Yeah, sure, okay, let's do it on Friday."
Because I couldn't believe that you were sitting there like with a semi-straight face while he was what in big capital letters with like maybe a question and an exclamation point. Like, what was all that?
Well, the issue with that was he kept saying, like, for years, he said on his own videos that he wants to challenge people to a Mubahala, which is an event where you where both sides invoke the curse of Allah and say, if I am a liar, then may Allah curse me. Apparently, this is something that
already. Has anyone seen his face? Has anyone seen, like, what? He's clearly already at a disadvantage to like regular humans. Like, what?
Well,
but still,
you could say that, but he kept saying. So this is something that Muhammad apparently did to Christians, according to the Islamic tradition, which is doubtful. Ali kept saying, "No one accepts this because they are all afraid because they know Islam is true." So he said to me, "Let us have a debate and let us also have a Mubahala." And I said, "Oh yeah, sure, fine, completely." Because it's ridiculous to me, like invoking the curse of Allah.
Are you allowed to choose your own? Like, if, for example, if I was invited to this like slagging off session, like, are you allowed to just ad lib off the cuff insults? Because they're always lined up for me. Like, or does it have to be the super duper?
You have to pray to the Allah, the God.
Satan. Sorry. Oh yeah.
Right. And the thing is, he challenges me, and I said, "Look, I don't believe in Allah, but sure, let's do it." And then
he start getting logical. Really.
Then we come to that session. And what's funny is he said to me, "Let's do this session." I said, "Yeah, sure, let's do it on Friday." And he's like, perfect. And then he makes a tweet and says, I forced A-Puss to accept the Mubahala session. And the messaging is literally just, hey, let's do this session. And be like, yeah, okay, sure. And to the public, he says, I forced him to accept
But
this.
why
In the end, he had to accept it.
You need to just screen grab this stuff, and every time he talks absolute shizzle, just fling it in with the quote. I mean, surely you'll get bored of being embarrassed.
But isn't it funny? Isn't it weird? I mean, do I really have to resort to that? Isn't it strange that he is supposedly this religious, pious Muslim Dawah guy? He's supposed to be honest, and he lies to his own Muslim friends and followers about what's happening behind the screens.
Is that in between selling supplements and like making money off of like gullible people? I just need to check, because your regular pious, big beard Dawah wearing a dress dude doesn't tend to like set up dodgy companies and be invested. Like, you know, maybe I missed the meeting. I don't know. Also, let's not forget his music video. I can't believe I didn't line that up.
Oh yeah,
that's just a. It's a sight to behold. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm sure music's haram. In fact, I know it is. But
I don't know. I feel like he accuses me of making money over hating Islam because I'm sustaining this channel with donations. So I thought maybe he has a point. Maybe I should start selling beard oil and
when supporting terrorism.
Yeah.
But hang on a minute. So on the one hand, you're risking your life and having regular hate-filled comments and nonsense. But on the other hand, people want to donate to hear you make Islam look ridiculous, which, let's be honest, like, it's not the toughest job in the world. But I don't get, like, he's going on as if there's no deficit to your life. Like, you're just casually skipping around, you know, no stress. I mean, obviously, threats from Ali Dawah are.
Yeah, it's like, I'm just doing this for fun, apparently, because I just hate Allah, and I just want to.
He's got me mixed up with. He's got you mixed up with me. That'll be it. I don't hate it, but come on. If you can't point out ridiculousness in today's world, when are you going to do it? Like this?
You know what's funny? He sent me a message like 2 years ago or so. We were messaging back then, and he said to me something along the lines of, "You left Islam because you want to have sex with women and go clubbing, and because you want to buy a house with interest." Like,
wow, those are my top 3 reasons for never having joined, apart from the sex with women, obviously, because I can take it or leave it.
Yeah,
but yeah, it does seem like he seems to feel like they're knockout arguments, and they're just regular. Like, I mean, I'd do it for a bacon sandwich. Like, I don't even, you know, interest on houses is not. I'd do it because let's have it right. For Christians, it's clearly satanic, so that's a good reason.
Yeah.
Anyone who's sympathetic to Christianity or common sense also works.
Yeah, maybe they should try suggesting that I'm doing this because I was raised in this religion and forcibly had to do a lot of things, and I'm really sick of it. And I see other people who are very sick of it, and I see people who suffer from it, which is why I am just so passionate about it.
If you want to blame it on moral example.
Yeah, if you want to blame it on emotions, maybe blame it on that. You know, that's emotional, and I'm ready to admit that might play a big role in why I'm doing this. You know, if you want to.
The thing is, it'd also be different if you joined for 6 months and then left in a blaze of glory, and I don't know, got on with hoes and bacon sandwiches and houses with interest or whatever it is. But we're in it to win it. It's not like you would. An unbeliever whilst you were preaching Dawah. Like, I assume you were invested, because otherwise it wouldn't have stung so much. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's when you're fully hook, line and sinker in, it's more damaging when you have to admit that it's all a house of cards kind of thing.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's just I just can't resist buying a house with interest. So
why don't you try and buy it with money as opposed to interest? I mean, just get the interest on the savings. But if you can find a bank nowadays that's got interest on, like, maybe currently, please let me know, anyone else in the comment section, because it's a myth. There is no, well, let's not get into the banks. If you're with a Russian bank, never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah. What do you, I don't want to dwell on. Oh, I don't mind dwelling on anything really, free speech and that. But I saw you did a little, I think it was a community post about the situation in the Ukraine. And I did a short video. Have you got any like sound bites or fleeting thoughts, or like, is there anything you feel the need to share?
Well, I think a lot about it. I follow it quite a bit, read up on it. I am kind of, because of my misguided communist youth in the past, I am very familiar with Russian history, and also regarding the region of Ukraine and Russia and the cultural relevance of it all. And why Russia thinks that they have this monopoly over Eastern European or Slavic or Rus culture and all that. And I talk about it a lot privately, and my wife keeps telling me I should talk about this, but I just think I don't want to mix that stuff into my YouTube channel. I just left it with a community post.
Yeah. Do you? I mean, I've often pondered the similarities between, for example, Marxism, or I guess communism, and Islam in terms of devastating outcome, the misery of the adherents, the kind of solidarity, the hierarchical structure of, like, the one dude and then the subcommittees and like the, I don't know, Sanhedrin, whatever.
Uh-huh.
For me personally, I couldn't really give two. Like, I'm not. Ukraine is a Christian country. For that, I'm concerned, because Christian persecution is like one of my big focuses. Also, allegedly, Russia is. But I appreciate that to be Russian at the moment is to, like, just have a hard time, like similar to, I mean, ethnic Russians and Ukrainians alike. Like, they're not going to get away easily for the actions of their premier or president, prime minister, whatever he's called over there. I just feel like, that meme, this escalated quickly.
Yeah,
I know, like, I know for years and years there've been cyber attacks on the Ukraine. There've been, and like vice versa, there's been like hostility and all of that stuff. But it just feels like, I feel like I miss Brexit. Really.
Well, here's the thing.
News cycle wise,
with Russia, obviously the biggest victims of this are the people, the populations, the Ukrainian people, the Russian people, and the Russian soldiers. I mean, when you think about the Russian military is not like an average Western military, not like the American military. In Russia, there is obligatory conscription, so you have to go to the every male has to go and serve in the military for, I think, 18 months or 2 years right now. I don't know how long, but they have to go there, and even if you don't want it. I myself did obligatory military service in Turkey, for example, which is done under very terrible standards. I hear that in Russia it's not very much better, and people are just gullible.
It's a bit like the Quran.
Yeah,
it's a bit like the Quran. It is prescribed for you to fight, and you will fight whether you want to or not, because surely Alan knows best.
And the average Russian soldier is a guy who is at home and who was just playing video games, who was playing Call of Duty, and then now he has reached a certain age and he has to go to the military, and suddenly Putin decides to invade Russia, and that guy who just 2 weeks ago played Call of Duty at home, or maybe 2 months ago, now goes to invade the Ukraine and has to shoot there. It's pretty terrible.
I've seen. I mean, I'm not naive enough to believe there's no propaganda anywhere, because of course there is, but I've seen certainly Russian soldiers defecting, I guess, or surrendering, because they weren't actually aware that they were there for military combat. They believed they were on exercises, or maybe maybe they set out and that was the case, and then 20 minutes later it all changed. It just doesn't seem like for me personally, I appreciate in America and North America, and like it's a bit more removed, but like my genealogy is European, certainly, and it's not always as easy as dividing out peoples into, Slavic or Russian or stuff like that. For me personally, it's just the thought of children going to bed terrified, like in hearing shelling, and that's probably, I was going to say a female thing, but I wouldn't want to, gender myself. But yeah, it's never like, I don't really care for I do like politics. Don't get me wrong. I like arguing. I like political science, but I feel like that's secondary. Any nuclear posturing is just redundant. Like, it's just ridiculous. However, the Bible does speak about such things, so I couldn't afford to be too surprised if that went on.
I mean, there's a thing with Russia. Ukraine has been a separate culture from Russia for almost 1,000 years or so. These people often don't understand if Ukrainians are Russians or if they're the same people. It's like they are descendants of a population, a group of people who lived in the region that were ruled by this Nordic group called the Kievan Rus, or the Rus, which is why they call themselves the Rus.
Yeah.
And they the descendants of the Rus, Belarus, Ukraine, and Russia, for example, they all claim to be descendants of them, are separate descendants. But Russia often, Putin gave a whole speech about that. He does this whole thing. People like him do this whole propaganda that we are not just all Rus. No, the people in this region are all Russians. And we, Russia, we are Mother Russia. And those people who are Russians should be part of our empire. He gave a whole speech saying that Ukraine should have never been free. They don't have their own culture. They are an illegitimate state. They can't do anything on their own.
Very telling, though, the language, isn't it? Never should be free. I mean, it's reminiscent of the fatherland, like, as in he's talking about denazifying for his own people, apparently, or apparently his own people, I should say. It's anytime they did the non-proliferation, or they agree. That was many years ago now. They were, I don't know about trusting, but they were maybe coerced even into giving up all of their nuclear options and agreeing to receive a nice shiny piece of paper that said, all right, then we'll all be buddies now, and we won't trot on over and attack you. And I'm sure they're probably looking for the paper now. But
what they want to do is they want Ukraine, Russia wants Ukraine to stay a neutral country in the middle,
non-NATO,
that will not work together with Western forces, not with the NATO, which is an absurd claim, which is an absurd expectation. Ukraine is a sovereign country that needs to look out for its own safety. You can't tell this country, which you also want to swallow into your own empire, that they cannot look out for their own safety. It's
truly, though, what he's done by if that's the reasoning, because of course it's never totally as it appears, even in non-mainstream media. But if NATO is one of the factors in this breakdown that Putin seems to be having, then I mean, why does it? For one, why not? I mean, all right, if they've got a non-nuclear treaty, then that would presuppose that NATO were not going to stockpile any weapon. Like, if he's worried about the proximity in terms of potential attack, don't antagonize them. Don't say, we really want you to remain neutral, but if not, we're going to kill you. Like, that doesn't engender people's trust. And Belarus as well I find it bizarre that they're having peace talks in a place that's openly supporting an aggressor.
It's a dictatorship with a dictator who is a puppet of Russia. So it's ridiculous to
love a
even
little
have that.
I saw
what the funny thing is? The funny thing is, Putin talks about denazifying Ukraine, and he says Nazis are in charge of Ukraine. What is very funny is his entire reasoning, his speech prior to the invasion of Ukraine, all his excuses of like our borders are being threatened, these are our people, we need to protect our people, we need to go in there, and so on. This is just the whole reasoning is just so such a reminder of all the things that Hitler said and Hitler gave as a reasoning before he invaded Russia, before he declared war on Russia. His thing was the same. His claims were the same. They are threatening our borders. They are coming down. They could attack any moment now. We have to be safe. We have to protect our people. They are trying to take control of people who are Germans. So we just have no other choice. We just have to go in there now. And this is basically the same thing that Putin is doing now. And he's talking of denazifying Ukraine. So
what I find
it's just weird.
Remarkable, there's two, I mean, there's many things I find remarkable, but two of them. One is that as a formerly socialist, or I mean communist, but nigh on socialist country, it's odd to use National Socialism as the bogeyman who, do you know what I mean, the justification for someone who's quite nationalist, Putin, and like a former like Soviet socialist, I don't know, republic country, whatever that's odd. The other thing in terms of, for Christians watching, in terms of like Romans 8:28, which I'll let you know, it says that God works to the good in all things for those who love him and are called according to his purpose. So, of course, 70-ish% of Ukraine is Orthodox Christian. And like not so much as in Western Europe, it wouldn't just be cultural, it would be like actual belief. But in terms of unifying Europe, Putin has done more in these 5 short days than anybody's been able to do in absolute decades since Hitler sort of jogged on, as it were. Like he's managed, I mean, Germany has come out of its like hard pacifist stance in terms of military aid. You know, the UK have remarkably come forward. Like the Ukraine is allowing, or has allowed for some time, foreign nationals to fight in their military. We've got like just basically people queuing, going into embassies and joining up with like expeditionary, I don't know what they call them, but other agreements have been come to just within Europe, within this like Central Europe at least, and Western, that wouldn't have been dreamed of even a week ago. Yeah. So in terms of unifying, like I'm not really a fan of the EU. I've got to say it. I like Europe, but they've been angling for a standing army and a song of their own and a flag for a long time, for a trading bloc. Or what was a trading bloc. So
you know what I find so ridiculous?
No, like I'm sure the arms manufacturers are crying themselves to sleep at night anyway.
Yeah.
Terrific. Very sad.
There was this guy who said on TV to the
so I feel like we've done that topic. Maybe I don't know that there's a solution. I'm pleased. It's a David and Goliath-esque. It seems to be anyway. But it could turn out that Russia is the David in that, because even though they haven't got military assistance, they seem to have a lot of financial aid and equipment being sent.
We are out of sync again. Can you hear me? Hello. There's a problem going on again. Okay, you have a delay.
No, I didn't hear what you just said, oddly.
This is funny. I feel like I'm going crazy when this happens.
No, I'm going to go and come back again because the audio's off somehow.
Exactly. Yeah. This is so funny. Yeah. So someone named Theodore in the chat with a Greek name said the Rus are the Russians, AP. Half of Ukrainian culture is Russian. That's not true. I'm sorry. That's not true. Rus are ancestors of Russians and also of the people who are Belarus and Ukraine. They are not even properly ancestors. They're just they were just, a Rus is just a name given to a collection of people that lived in a specific region that are a mix of former Slavic people, Norse people, and so on. The whole idea that Russians are the Rus is Russian propaganda. That's not true. And I would love to be corrected with that, with documentation. But yeah, that's where we are. I'm here alone again. I don't know what's going on with Kay's equipment. She just has terrible equipment because she lives in a poor country like England. Unfortunately, not everyone can be American. I bet there are a lot of British people here, right? I feel very happy about this offense. No, I'm just kidding. I'm very sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm not sorry at all. But you all understand me. You have English humor and all that. So, Taha Hussein said, "When is your next response to Farid coming?" I have already recorded it. It's about the infamous "Where does the sun go?" question. But I'm just kind of too slow with editing my videos. I have like 4 or 5 videos recorded waiting for me to be edited and published. Reborn June said, "AP, will you ever come to a speaker's corner?" Not sure. When I see it on videos, I feel like this is one place where I don't want to be. But I could. I mean, it looks like an interesting place. Maybe I could meet Kay there. Sarah said, "When is the epilepsy series coming, AP?" I'm in talks with Abdullah Gondal. He's preparing something on that. He's taking his sweet time, but it will come. I'm just waiting for him. I could spend time on that myself. I had a video in preparation for that as well, but since Abdullah Gondal made a lot of research on that, I would like to just leave that to him and do that with him together. A whole video series on, just to clarify what we're talking about, a whole video series about how Muhammad apparently had mental problems or brain problems, including probably epilepsy due to some complications. But there are lots of hints to that, including in one of the first reports in Sahih Bukhari, the authentic reports of Muhammad's revelations, they ask how he gets his revelations, and he then says that he gets the inspiration comes to him in the form of the sound of a ringing bell, and then when it is over, he grasps the meaning of what was said, and this is very uncomfortable for him. Or he sees invisible beings that talk to him or that make sounds, and then he hears the revelations after that, and so on. And in one hadith, he's on the ground shaking and making camel noises or something like that while being covered up and shaking and sweating. So there's a lot of material there to be found showing that Muhammad had some problems. Yeah. Hey, Kay. What's up?
Master of understatement there.
Yeah, some
yeah,
problems.
I think some sort of neuro. I don't know. I just thought I'd nip in, see what Englishness you were slagging off. Now I could hear you. I was thinking, you little.
Oh, really? Really?
I wouldn't want to be American, my love, because I think you should all stop pretending and just come home now. Although there's too many of you, obviously. Canada's space. Old.
Yeah.
Lovely people.
I've just become an American citizen. So just let me have that.
Yeah. So, carry on. What were you saying? You're just discussing Mohammed's potential epilepsy, or
I was just discussing how
neurological,
Muhammad
like,
has
disorders.
Problems, and that we need to go after those problems.
This is just the most ridiculous amount of problems for one stream.
Oh yeah, you're gone again. We have no.
I can't be bothered. Right, can anybody hear me?
I can hear you, but it's very late.
Because I can see me and I can hear me.
Do you hear me? Hello? Do you hear me?
And I'm just like,
you can't hear me.
Anyone in the... Let me...
Oh boy. This is funny. I guess we should do this stream again some other time and plan this better. And maybe give Kay some money so she can buy herself some better equipment and better internet so that we can have proper live streams together. Let's raise some money. Let's organize a fundraiser to help Kay get some basic equipment for internet and for streaming. Yeah. The problem is with AP's connection. No, it can't be my connection because we're using this platform called StreamYard, and that is specifically designed so that nobody depends on each other's connection. We are all connecting independently to this platform and then streaming from that to YouTube. So it is entirely on her. This is not my fault. Martin Allen said K on that McDonald's internet. Reborn June said, AP, will you have another debate with Salafi? Yes, we will. What we agreed to was that we would have a debate about the existence of God and then about Islam. I said I'm not really interested in having a debate about the existence of God. I don't really care about that. But under the condition that we also have a debate about Islam and whether Islam is true. I did have that debate with him. Now I'm waiting for him to make time so we can debate about Muhammad or about the Quran or about whether Islam is true or not. The answer to that will be very simple. DT Yini said, AP Apostate Aladdin made a video of you and David Wood. What do you think about that? I watched most of it. I'm terrible watching videos through and paying attention to them, but I watched most of it. I mean, it was just his opinion. It was fair. He has a different method from what David and I are doing. And I don't think much of it. I mean, I support his activism against Islam and all that. Sigma Chronos said, AP, be wary of streaming with people in third world countries. Third world countries like England? What?
I just said, I don't have any glasses on to push up my nose with that finger. I do apologize. Yeah, I believe that my internet company are going to be getting a strongly worded message from me, because I know what it is now. It's my internet connection just keeps dropping momentarily. Then my software for the camera decides to have a little spastic attack. Sorry for the word spastic, but get over it. Not you. I can. Watch me, spastic. There you go. And I can also say Mohammed was utterly a paedophile because of free speech, you understand.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's such bad words. Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah. Such bad, descriptive, medically accurate words. Oh, don't you just, yeah. I'm talking about the word paedophile, obviously. We used to have the Spastic Society in Britain. And then because children started using it as an insult, everybody bowed down to the pressure and utterly changed the branding there. But so Scope. Thank you, Sonny. That's the new name. Does anybody have any questions other than like dodgy ad hominem comments? Hi, Mr. Brown TV. You're right. Cerebral palsy. Yes, not a phobe.
Yeah.
I just anything anyone tells me I'm not allowed to say, quite childishly, I'll be saying it all the time.
It's hard to focus on a specific topic right now. So if anyone has questions, we can do that. It's just we never know because because K's connection in Pakistan is pretty bad and it drops occasionally.
I think the green screen really looks like me in London. Like I feel like that was worth the £10. Yeah. Sorry, rupee, lira, whatever.
Yeah.
I am not allowed to say apostate prophet is great, and yet, Andrew, I mean, I wouldn't like him to overhear me. He's not bad. Like, he's all right as apostates go. That's what I want to ask you. Do you feel like the advent of the internet, I mean, given that your apostasy was at like when it was, but so there are like obvious benefits and negatives, but do you feel like it's a blessing for apostates from Islam to be able, like, information wise maybe, but then doxing on the other hand and death threats?
I mean the thing is, when I think back about it, it's hard to say, but I feel like the internet is the reason why I left Islam. I started using the internet at a young age. I was so addicted to sitting there through the night and just reading stuff. And when I was a Muslim, I had a lot of questions that I started to research and go outside of just the books and outside of just the community and to research and look into all the sources which I could not immediately, have access to. And then kind of concluded that the Islamic religion is absurd and nonsensical, and ex-Muslims from around the world connect over the internet and are becoming aware that they exist. Because growing up in the Muslim world, it feels like you are the only one who has doubts, because nobody talks about this, because it's impossible. So that's definitely good. Of course, there are downsides to it, but yeah.
That's one of the key elements to cults in general, is the isolation of anybody who appears to be, who appears troubled or like the indoctrination process is obviously vastly different if you're brought up in a majority Muslim or mostly Muslim neighborhood, let alone country. You could be forgiven for feeling like if you open your mouth your head might completely come off with it. I mean, there's a 10-year-old in Nigeria who was locked up for at least a decade for insulting Allah, bearing in mind that Nigeria doesn't have Sharia within its constitution or blasphemy laws, oddly, but he managed to get it anyway. It was a toss-up for me. The first channels that I was ever broadcast on were Muslim ones at Speaker's Corner. I was saying it to JC Soko on Sunday that for those few weeks that I was in Speaker's Corner without him, as it were, like I used to peek at the comment section and then think, why have I done that? Like it was never even neutral. It was fully like a vitriolic and like really hateful. So that it can make a difference. I guess if you're just starting to ask questions and you receive a barrage of, I don't know, threats for possible apostasy, that could be detrimental also.
Yeah. If there is the one downside of that whole of the internet and how the Muslim mentality and Muslim ideology kind of forms and uses the internet. People realize, Muslim apologists realize after a while that the internet is this big tool where criticism of Islam and doubts about Islam are spread, where ex-Muslims share their own messages and this and that, so they have to respond. And what they do now, how they use the internet now, is to have a certain speaker like Muhammad Hijab, for example, or I don't know, even Ali Dawah, and he has a discussion with somebody, and then or the whole Muslim community fanatically mobilizes and goes onto the watch page of the Muslim and also the non-Muslim, and just completely, occupies the comment sections and leaves comments and so on to kind of impose the idea that their own side is the right one and that their own side won. You see this everywhere. And it's very weird. People who are not familiar with the Muslim mentality are kind of a little bit, baffled by by so much pressure and interaction and so much fanaticism. But I guess this is one of the downsides of the internet. But again, they will also lead to many people interacting with opposition, and some people, being exposed to doubts and to criticism, and then defecting. And
that's the thing, I suppose. I can't speak for I don't know, I can actually. For Christians, really the worst, I don't know about the worst, but the most common thing you're going to get if you leave Christianity is potentially dinners cooked for you, maybe, as if you're unwell, prayers, people with love trying to find out, what went wrong there, and do you fancy coming back for a bit, and never mind. There's no question of, and I know someone in the comment section, so save your breath, is going to start talking about stoning of apostates in the Old Testament, but those weren't Christians anyway. So love being the greatest commandment, there's just zero scope for, let's just go and torture and kill them, because surely their body is the most important part of this as opposed to their eternity. Any ideology that has to protect itself with violence, even if it's verbal violence, you've got to wonder, what kind of quicksand are they all standing on? Are they just standing on each other, or potentially the heads of people who've been ripped to pieces in Pakistan, for example, for apostatizing? It's pretty fierce. I think that might be an adequate word, maybe. It's a pretty ridiculous state of affairs to kill someone because they don't agree with you.
Oh, there she goes again. There she goes again. We lost her. Okay, you are gone again. I'm by myself again. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's ridiculous. Absolutely. That. Yeah. I don't know. Should I wait for her to come back? Should I just preach? I don't know where to go from here. Lost in battle, AP. Yeah, seriously. Uh, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know where to go from here. I am lost and I have no idea what to do now. I'm alone here in this place. I have lost my guidance. Yeah, this is how AP wins debates. All love for AP. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Muhammad bin Uthman said, AP said that the Friday prayer has 4 rakat. Yeah, so far. Okay. And what does that say? Does it say I was never a real Muslim? I mean, it is something that I practiced the last time in 2013 or 14 or something like that. Do you think I'm going to remember over all those years that we used to pray twice instead of 4 times on a Friday? You don't keep that in your head if you are out of that religion and if you distance yourself from that. So it's kind of a weird flex on your part. You should focus on the criticism of Islam and the things that we talk about instead of trying to find some flaws in my understanding or in my history or whatever it is. Yeah, that's what I would like to say. Taha Hussein said it seems aimless. Yes, it's pretty aimless. Best Bear said Allah will smite you. Absolutely, completely. Cherokee Gypsy said rules: be respectful and watch your language. No blasphemy. Oh, I forgot this is a Christian channel, but I'm not blaspheming anyway, so don't say anything to me. But I guess this was directed at the comment section anyway. I don't know. I'm totally confused right now. I'm just here in charge of the live stream that I am not normally in charge of. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Maybe I'm supposed to get out of here. Black Angel said, Rede über Ukraine, which is German for speak about Ukraine. We just did, maybe a half an hour ago or so. I think we spent quite a while talking about that stuff. Yeah. Open Secret said, do you have any upcoming debates, AP? I had some offers come to me. In all honesty, Modern Day Debate had a few offers for debates. I just said, I'm kind of tired right now. I don't want to have any debates. I want to give it a rest a little bit. I will get back to debating again soon. So there are some offers waiting, but I will soon have another debate with a Muslim that I debated in the past. I tried organizing a debate with Shaber Ali, but he said that he only wants to debate Christians. He doesn't want to debate atheists, which is strange. I guess he's one of the old apologists, and he just wants to talk about little differences between Christianity and Islam that do not add much to the conversation, instead of talking about whether Islam is true or not, or talking about Islam's truth claims in general. I hope he will change his mind one day and agree to have a debate with me or with other apostates and atheists, but so far he only wants to talk with Christians. And the idea there is that he wants to compare Islam to Christianity. He doesn't want to evaluate Islam on its own, I guess, which in my opinion is a very weak move. Perfect Dawah said, APM, I am still looking for you. Will you be able to debate me again? Do you dare? Perfect Dawah, I already did debate you. You'd already had a debate a week ago or two with David Wood. As far as I have seen it, it was terrible on your part. I'm sorry. I don't know why you have to keep bugging me. It's not like I rejected you. I accepted your offer. We had a debate, and I think we're done with it. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, Kay said to me, She's restarting her computer, and she will be back soon. So we'll just wait for her. Yeah. Smash. If they want to, why ask me? Ask Saudia. Saudia. Just reading random comments now. There are so many friendly Muslims in here. Oh, Detective O. Will. Ridwan, why did you change the title of your video on Farid? What do you mean? It was called The Beginning of the End of Farid Response. And I changed it to The End of Farid Response instead, because I thought the title is too long. That's because of my inability to pick a proper title. I don't know why are you asking that question. Yeah. Why is everyone so backwards? It's a good question. Open Secret said, which of the embarrassing verses of the Quran are your favorite, AP? There are just too many of them. Well, the one part with, in chapter 18, the whole journey of this guy called Dhul Qarnayn, the two-horned one, is obviously a very funny one to me. Then chapter 91, the chapter about which starts by the sun and its light and the moon when it follows it and so on. That beginning of that chapter, it might be chapter 90 or 91. I'm not sure which one it was. I don't remember the number of the chapter now, but I find that one very funny. I find verses about stars being missiles that are thrown at rebellious devils who try to sneak up and listen to Allah's high assembly with angels. I find that very funny. There's just too many of them. I made a whole video, a 1-hour video of 60 scientific mistakes in the Quran. So there's just a very big supply of very terrible, embarrassing Quran verses. Oh no, Kay's here. I was having fun on my own.
I could hear you having fun. My computer is still configuring Windows. I don't even want to go into the. It's lucky it's still sitting here and not out of the window.
Yeah.
You had any decent questions? Any
I was just going through some of them and trying to answer some questions. You can leave. I got this.
Yeah. I can't actually, like, Jesus prevents me from saying it on air potentially. I don't know. All right. Any questions for me other than what kind of crap laptop have you got, Kay? Or also more questions for my friend who obviously has great affection for me, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Me.
Please throw it out of the window right now.
I will, as soon as someone sends me another one. I'll be on it.
Okay.
Quickly. By the way, everybody has time to argue with Mr. Brown in their own time, like in any of my other comment sections, if you fancy. So don't be distracted because, potentially AP will not want to host an entire live stream again for me.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I'm enjoying this. This is fun.
Oh good. Okay then. So does anybody have a question? Thank you, Open Secrets. I believed him anyway. He's pretty trustworthy for a non-believer, it turns out.
Yeah.
No judgment, of course, because I'm commanded not to.
Armor of God said, AP, now I see why you left Islam. I don't know what that is in reference to.
Mr. Brown's comments, sorry to speak like, yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
Or maybe all of their laptops are pretty rubbish in Saudi or Turkey. Or Armor of God he has some sort of Tourette sometimes, but we always get to the point. It's just unfortunately he's in the Americas, so obviously all those people speak a bit oddly.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Very, very strange.
I mean, we started the language and you all finished it, it seems.
Well, not me. I'm not me. I came later, so.
Well, you're American for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
I can only say rude words in Turkish, so I'd stick with the American. before I just alienate vast swathes of the globe. Yeah, any questions, or are we all just
we're just hanging out here? This was kind of we can make up for this and go to live again on a different day and plan
actually plan a topic. Should we do it?
Well, this one was we were kind of freestyling, and then you have your terrible problems in Pakistan.
Well, just psychologically, but also the computer, yeah.
That anyway, yeah, but also the computer. And,
exactly. Yeah. Oh, it's just switching on now. Thank you very much. I can't see who it is because I'm looking now on a teensy little phone screen. But thank you. I don't. Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't aware. Stop Scamming me made a super chat and said, AP, if you want to crowdfund for better gadgets for K, it's best to host a live stream with K on your channel. Could you look at my first super chat, by the way? I don't know if I want to put the effort into it, just making a stream.
I don't think you want the run the risk of Christianity just like going out to your followers because they know it makes sense. I mean, they seem so charming with me in the comment section usually. It's maybe it's like a I like them. I like atheists. I mean, I prefer atheists, obviously. There's something to be said for theists are easier to connect to on one level for polemics, but atheists, sorry, but come on.
You prefer atheists to Christians? That's what you meant, right?
No, I mean that there's an argument to be had that it's easier to reach a Muslim with Christianity because the stumbling block of establishing the presence of a God or God is kind of all, like you're on a somewhat of a level playing field, whereas atheists, it's just a different tactic.
Unless you want to do it the way Dawah does it, try and establish the existence of
trying to establish pity and revulsion in equal measures.
No, he tried to present a cosmological argument from contingency to me during our discussion, and which is just ridiculous. I mean,
I wonder if he'd finished reading the meme that he learned it on by the time he brought it up. I bet someone sent it.
He just started asking me questions like, okay, is this contingent? Is this like, I'm like, hey, that's not how an argument works. Make your argument and I will respond to it. And he's like, okay.
That's what I kept hearing
you answer
saying.
My question?
Yeah. No, I kept hearing him repeating himself like I don't know, like someone with a stammer, and trying to demand that you answer things that were utterly irrelevant anyway to his first premise. I had to switch it up, not out of disloyalty to you, just out of my cringe muscles were at full capacity. Like my jaw was, I couldn't take it.
Imagine me. I'm very.
I did. I was praying for you, whether you like it or not. I was thinking, please give this man patience because it's so embarrassing.
Thank you. In all honesty, I'm very surprised and very impressed with myself. I did not expect that I would be so
modest.
Calm. I would be so calm. I thought I would lose it in that conversation, but I didn't. I kept my patience, and even though he was talking to me about cosmological arguments, which he obviously doesn't even understand, and is trying to put it on me because he can't make the argument, I was still staying calm and just letting him embarrass himself with that and bury himself.
That's the exact thing I was thinking. If you give him enough rope, he'll be dangling. And it took like seconds. He started off with some, let's have an insult party or whatever it was. And before you knew it, it's like there's another character. There's another guy, Mo Dean, who I've made quite a few videos with, like, whatever. I felt like, are there deeper layers? Like, surely there's something behind this persona. Like, nobody can be that shallow, and I care about people. So I thought, no, let me try my best to tease out something other than just. And I feel that way with Ali. Like, I was like, surely this is just some sort of persona, but no, it appears that is what you're getting. Like, it does what it says on the tin, which is not much. It's a shame because, I mean, used car sales have obviously suffered for the Dawah.
There was this one moment, no matter what you think about the vaccine and all that, right? He told me in the back because he can't come to America because of the vaccine, because he can't take it. I said to him during the discussion, I said, again, nothing to do with the discussion on the vaccine. I asked him, hey, so why are you against the vaccine? And he said to me, I'm not saying people shouldn't take it. I'm just saying I personally don't do that. And I'm like, I understand. I didn't say you say people shouldn't take it. But can you answer me? Why are you personally against the vaccine? And he's like, no, I'm not saying people shouldn't take the vaccine. And I'm like, and I'm thinking
It's a
to myself,
linguistic failing.
I'm thinking to myself, am I crazy?
Am I tripping?
Yeah.
Phrase,
What's going on? Am I high or something? And then I began.
Yeah.
I'm not asking that. I'm asking you, why are you personally against the vaccine? And he's like, no, I'm not saying people shouldn't take it. I'm like,
you know what you've got to do at that stage? It's the same as when people are partially hearing. You have to just rephrase it utterly. You have to say, Ali, why don't you want to take this back? Like, you have to, because the words are not filtering, or the meaning is like just repeating it. You might as well just start smashing your head into the wall in time with the question.
It's very weird.
Yeah. And it's also as if he just realized that there are like entry requirements that necessitate vaccination. Like, he's all demanding. Basically, he wanted a holiday. Let's have it right. Like, maybe the supplement sales business is not in full effect, but maybe the vaccine has something to do with that, and that's why he doesn't want to diss the industry. But yeah, like as if he's only just realised while he's
he never wanted to have this debate. It was pretty.
No way. You're saying he was just posturing? It was all testicular nonsense.
Yeah, he never intended to have this debate.
He covered that well.
I'm pretty sure Mohammed Hijab told him that he should not debate me. I'm pretty sure that Mohammed Hijab told him that because I know from the past when Daniel Haqiqatjou agreed to have a debate with David Wood, Mohammed Hijab went live on his own channel or somewhere else and said that he thinks after somebody has been absolutely annihilated, he's referring to himself, destroyed David Wood.
I love the language. I love the boys and their toys language.
A Muslim brother should not have another debate with that person. So he's fundamentally against that whole thing. He now claims that he also did that same thing with me, which is very ridiculous. And he obviously wouldn't want his close friend Ali Dawah to debate me. So what I guess is he said to Ali Dawah, hey, do not debate him. And Ali Dawah said, don't worry, it's not going to happen. I just want to, or arrange something and make him look bad or something, and that just terribly backfired.
I've got to just read a comment because I there's no way to show them because I'm on a teensy little control panel. But Carol B said, you've got to credit Ali Dawah. He went all the way to a charity shop and paid a couple of quid for his 1980s suit. Basically, I mean, he did that potentially by himself, like a big boy, out all by himself, in a world where he did say it's okay to masturbate over babies. And he didn't use the M word. He used one that begins with a W, and I won't even do the sign language because but this is the same guy. And I did have the video lined up, but of course, the best laid plans and stuff. Gee. But yeah, this is that guy. Let's not all forget when he's sneering about incest as if he doesn't look like a product of it, that he said it's okay to masturbate, I've got to say it again, over babies. Surely that's a showstopper. In terms of anyone having anything other than incredulity for his mental functioning, his potentially his baseline sanity, his ability to navigate the world safely, because lots of people take offense or umbrage at statements involving sexual relations with children. But he's done, he's mentioned his what age he feels acceptable, because he's backed into a corner, of course, by the potentially imaginary Muhammad. But yeah, I don't know how they let him play out by himself, honestly. Not even his mother, let alone Hijab and Hashim and the rest of his handlers at this stage, because they can have an intelligent sounding conversation. They can follow an argument, they can have a rebuttal, or you can go back and forth with Hashim and Mohammed Hijab. And that's why I was stunned with Christian Prince. That was another car crash TV, but I was crying and laughing. I couldn't believe how embarrassing it was for them. But the fact that Ali came out looking slightly more like constrained or even, I mean, he kept his mouth shut a lot, so he looked like the more intelligent, as opposed to the spitting on your own floor and the boying and all of that. Like, I thought, surely it's end times. Surely I was flicking through Revelation, like, this has got to be in there somewhere, because if Ali's coming off looking like pretty sensible, like, start looking up to the clouds, because it's pretty serious. But you kept your composure very well.
Thank you. Somebody said, AP, is it true that Ali has a sexual interest in you? I think so. But I can't further comment on that nor judge that.
Just publish the pics that maybe he sent you. There's a question just came up that was, does Ali, where the heck is it? All right. Doesn't Ali think that Adam and Eve's kids were incestuous? In terms of like the propagation of the species, I guess that's a comment on Islamic narrative.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is, I don't know, this entire approach of him trying to let me say that incest is okay because I can't explain to him why it is wrong. It's just
the thing is, what you need
attempt. It's
when speaking to like special needs children or Ali, like, I think the thing to do is to be very conscious of, like, even though 80% of the words may just skate over him, you've got to be clear that you're not talking of a practical situation. It's hypothetical, and it's from a moral or non-moral. If you don't believe there is a good and an evil, then of course there's no point in saying it's evil, because it's a redundant statement. You're saying it's a unicorn thing to do. Like, it's getting that kind of like through to him as a premise, because otherwise he's off and running.
I guess I made a mistake in assuming that I could communicate something slightly complex to him, as like giving hypotheticals and making a judgment from a hypothetical.
Hypothetical? No, I'm joking. Yeah. I think he just ignores the big words, quite frankly, and just latches onto the sound bites. Bless him. I think everyone should pray for him. Obviously, atheists don't bother.
I will pray for him too.
Well, okay, you pray. You're a prophet. I mean, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Even with what the Bible says, I'm willing to call you one. You identify as one anyway.
Yeah, I identify as
one. You got any prophecies for Islam?
It will end in 200 years. Yeah.
Nice. And will it be on the horizon when it ends, so no one can quite make it out? No, that kind of like Allah deal.
Yeah, it will be. It's going to be disappearing into the water.
Into the muddy pool.
Into the muddy pool, yes.
Nice.
I like it. It will ask for permission to rise again, but it will not be given permission, and then it will die. That's what's going to happen.
Do you know what? You should start your own. I reckon that's as good or as bad as relatively as any of the old twaddle that they peddle. A hadith, sorry, that's the name. Yeah, I think that sounds spiffing. I think there's a little language, as long as you like have a sort of like core essence of twaddle in the middle, and then like oh prophet, don't you remember when at the beginning, and then a sort of skiddly widdly like Arabic word at the. I think you're good to go, really. Like a Chinese fortune cookie mottos.
Here's the thing, it's the people who have failed me, because I am already out here. I have already declared that I'm a prophet, and I am already speaking. So it's people should have been noting and making notes of my words and my prophecies.
Shame it wasn't like on something like YouTube or something.
Yeah.
Where it was saved for posterity.
Yeah, it's all going to be lost now. Yeah. What are we going to do?
Such a shame. Just like the Dead Sea Scrolls. Maybe when it's all found and recovered, it will affirm some old crap or whatever you were doing on that Tuesday. Nice. There's no way it will ever affirm Islam. Although I would like to have a short debate with you and obviously destroy you, all that old
annihilate.
I love a bit of annihilation, but not annihilationism, because that's heresy.
Oh, okay.
But either way, I assume you're going to argue that Allah doesn't exist. We did discuss this before, and then we just started chit-chatting for an hour. But yeah, and I would like to argue the case that actually Satan does exist. So I feel like that would, like, if we actually put our minds to it and go all long wordy, I think that might be a decent little debate. to have.
I'm not sure if we're going to get anywhere with that because it just depends on how.
Because I'll win and destroy you.
Yeah,
obviously.
You will humiliate me, and it just depends.
Only
on
if you
how
ask nicely. You know, there are industries around that kind of thing. I don't just do it for fun. But, you're not Muslim, I'm afraid, so you don't come into the free category.
Yeah. People describe me as a devil. And there was this Muslim apologist guy, Sajid Libim. He has described me as literally shaitan, literally Satan.
Oh, so, do you know what? I feel like literally Hitler may have been diluted, or it's not really. I mean, especially, I've got a feeling, is it the Turks or the Chinese? I don't know. In the end times, there's a hadith for some flat-faced people. And they're gonna, is it the Turks? Yeah. So, I mean, it's pretty high praise if you look at it standing on your head. Like, at least you're a somebody. Like an actual devil, like you've got the tights, maybe you've got the powers, the influence, the nice. It's better than just saying you're like a cleaner or you're just like some bit player. At least you've got like a role you can get your teeth into.
Yeah,
I mean,
at least I'm important. At least, devil is better than, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, they're celestial, but not Islamic ones. Obviously, they're just jinn. But I mean, in Christian theology, I mean, you're up there, mate. Like Lucifer was pretty hot, like God's most glorious and all that. So
absolutely,
if you could just get him to say the devil, like actual shaitan.
Well, he said literally shaitan, so I'm just literally Satan. And
what a touch! You should start marketing that.
Here's the issue. So when he calls me literally shaitan, literally Satan, then this just shows that you can use that subjectively, and you can just describe anything or anybody as Satan. So you could always say Satan exists. So there's that.
You're telling me that Donald Trump isn't literally Hitler? What are you saying? It's just an empty. Oh, shush now! Don't be such a Billy. What I'm saying is, there's been an industry in calling people Nazis for a long time now, and there were actual Holocaust survivors probably sitting there just like, what? What do you mean? Like, it denigrates the meaning of the insult. Like, once something becomes an insult, you want to reserve it for the guilty part, like for the person who is actually a Nazi. And nobody's literally Hitler, other than, spoiler alert, Hitler. And that's in the past. I mean, no, actually, he probably had family with. He had an English nephew.
Well, the issue here is you also have the problem that you have the fact that every white person is literally a Nazi. So
I am
faced with that fact. So
that's just coincidence in my case. Yeah, probably that. I don't know. Something along those lines. I just saw a comment about a catalogue model who runs Canada. Sorry, excuse me. It says, I think they're talking amongst themselves. It says Trudeau literally called truckers Nazis. Putin's been a bit literally, denazifying lately, and said honk honk. Oh, as in the little green dude. Maybe, I don't know. It's the new Nazi signal. Oh, shush. Oh, where do they get? Oh, they must be up all night thinking up this nonsense. Meanwhile, Trudeau sends 30 millions to, I don't know, Ukraine neo-Nazis. I don't know about that last part because I'm not a astute political commentator. However, what I will say is Hitler is definitely dead just by age now. Like, there's no way he's in a bunker in South America. He's like, that's just not happening. He's gone. And victims of real.
He might actually be living in some underground scientific facility where,
like Walt Disney.
Yeah.
Cryogenically frozen.
Yes.
Oh God, can you imagine how miserable you'd be once you got woken up from that?
I always thought
how big would the coffee be?
I would love to be put into sleep and then be woken up like 50 years later and like.
Oh God! Hopefully, only if we've like the revolution has revolved again and being normal isn't countercultural. Like even the word normal, I just thought, oh, there's probably hate speech. Usual, I should say.
Yeah.
But what a load of old shizzle. That's what I say. Right, so any final?
Could you speak German? So could you speak German? I can speak German. I can speak German. I don't know what to speak though. Herzlich willkommen, liebe Zuschauer oder Zuhörer. Wir haben heute eine Live-Show auf Kays Kanal. Ich kann euch nicht empfehlen, diesem Kanal zu folgen, da er ziemlich langweilig ist. Nur Spaß.
Do
I'm very
excuse
happy
AP.
that
Potentially he's having a seizure. Other than that, he's answering a comment that I didn't notice, unfortunately. I do speak a bit of German, but
I just said very nice things about you.
that would make such a change. I mean, that's just run of the mill, isn't it?
Yeah,
We
fantastic.
do get on so well, and you being godless and all, and so
absolutely.
stubborn.
You can trust me.
But I need like moral standpoints. I mean, I don't know how you would define. Let's not be silly and try and argue stuff. But I do. Now I've got you. You were on with some dude. I don't know, some American, some atheist, and you sat there, and I was thinking, wait till I get hold of this guy. And he was saying some pretty inflammatory, like, I don't mind honest observation. You know what I mean? Like, if you're an atheist, you're an atheist. We can do. Allah probably misguided you there anyway. But, like, he was saying some stuff about Christianity that I didn't appreciate. I felt like potentially, as such a trustworthy, lovely guy, you could have banged a bit of a drum.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I think he was talking. Maybe his dad is something to do with the military. He was very GI Joe-ish. He had like a name that
are you talking about Derek from Myth Vision? That guy.
That'll do. That will actually do, because I was thinking of the X-Men. You know, like I don't know, some sort of weird, like. Yeah, I love the X-Men, by the way. So that's.
I don't.
That's why you need some guidance.
That's why I didn't speak up.
Let me at him. I was in the comment section like that, really irritated. Right, Anthony is asking, does the Quran teach or explain how or if Muhammad fulfills the covenants with Noah, so the Noahide, the Abrahamic, and the covenant with Jacob, i.e. Israel, that is if Muhammad was sent to all mankind? You got any ideas on that?
The Quran,
I'm going to go with no.
The Quran doesn't say anything about any of that stuff. It doesn't remotely ever try to or manage to explain any covenants or anything at all. It has no idea about the fundamental morals given in the Bible, about the 10 commandments, about what was exactly what was the old covenant, what was the new covenant, and so on. It doesn't have any idea about these things. All it claims is that Allah is that Allah sent prophets in the past and messengers, and they established a certain message for Allah, and that got corrupted, and people, got lost and all that, and Muhammad now came here to fix it all. And it says that without ever explaining anything. So the Quran, you can't expect much information, much accurate.
Do you remember the part that says, I believe it's talking to Christians and Jews, it says, and if you don't follow your scripture and do what you've been told to do, you have no leg to stand on or ground to stand on. So basically, resist Islam is the core message there.
The issue is, I still need to make a video on this, but I made a whole, I put all the verses in the Quran that talk about Christians and Jews in chronological order.
Chronology in the Quran.
Just to see. I mean, as far as we can track it.
You mean by size order? You put the first chapter one there, and then the second chapter one.
No, what I did was, so we have two different standards by which, the chronological, rank of the chapters are kind of assessed or estimated. Based on that, I picked out certain verses in these chapters, and then looking at that table, I put those verses into chronological order. So a certain verse about Christians that came in the very early years, and then at the end of that is one that came in chapter 9, for example, which is a very late chapter. And when you look at that, what you see is basically that in the beginning, the Quran has this whole message to Christians and Jews, like, hey, you guys, you're good.
Like in the Goonies.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Hey you guys.
Guys, what's up? You just have to believe. It's like everything is cool. Don't be afraid. And then later on it goes like
your religion.
Yeah. And then it goes like, we are separate, but we should be good with each other. And then it goes into, what, we are different, but that's okay. Stay different. You have your books, we have ours. And then it goes into, what, your books, forget about them. You have to follow us. And eventually,
even though Allah sent them, by the way.
And eventually,
even though Muhammad affirmed them.
Yeah, eventually it says, curse those Christians and Jews and fight them and turn them into Muslims. So
or pigs and donkeys, isn't it, for the
yeah,
Jews? Didn't
yeah.
Allah give them a little face change?
Yeah,
Couple of times.
according to the Quran, it's they violated Allah's commandments, and he turned them into pigs and.
Oh, yeah. What commandments? He hasn't blooming given. All he said is, "Here, I was the one who wrote that book, you know. See that Moses geezer? Me and him was like that." This is his Cockney translation, obviously. He claimed to have given the Torah and then forgot his own name, the dope, and just like ignored that it said, "Oh, do you know what? Have a bit of camel. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that nonsense that I was talking about, the cloven hoof and the chewing the cud. No, I've changed me. Like, come on, like it's the one of the just as a book. I love books. I hate it when bad books sell really well. Like,
Yeah.
it's just horrific. It made me feel nauseous, like truly, because of its truth claims. If it was just fictional, it would have been like, but because of what it was purporting to be, and because of the many people who I believe are going to just burn for eternity because of it, like I was like, wow, this is some pile of pages. Sorry, I
was doing this thing last year. I was trying to read the Quran through again from the beginning to the end. And I stopped at some point. I think I stopped like at, I don't know, chapter
page 2. No,
no, I chapter like in the 40s or 50s somewhere. I stopped, which is huge. It's a good chunk. I don't know why I stopped there, but it's like
you got a life.
It's just so heavy because every day I try to read a little bit of it, and every day after reading just like half an hour or so of the Quran, I just feel horrible. I feel like I feel disgusted. And
have you ever, in all seriousness, have you ever tried, like, I'm not suggesting First Kings or Chronicles, like, or Numbers, but have you ever made any, like, just in a spirit of inquiry, like to read or to do a Bible plan, as in where you get to treat like topic based, like, have you ever tried?
And the only books that I completely read through in the Bible are in the Old Testament, and those are I love Ecclesiastes, which I read that through actually like 3 or 4 times now, because I feel like it's very enjoyable to read and very interesting. I read Genesis through, and I don't know, some I don't know how far I read into the first 5 books, but when it comes to the New Testament, I did read good chunks of each of the 4 Gospels, and only little parts of the epistles of Paul. But yeah,
I feel like maybe you'd benefit, even in terms of, like I say, just recreational, you know, just like just for your own interest or to refute Christianity potentially or whatever it is. But there are, sorry, somebody just sent me a question on my phone I'm going to ask you as well. But there are Bible, I'll send you the link afterwards. There are Bible plans that it sort of whizzes you through don't get me wrong, some of it is like the minutia in the Old Testament is just repetition and like you know, just to hammer it home, because these laws are like literally life or death situations if you break them, so they want to hammer it home. But then it will always skip to the New Testament where they are discussing those very laws and like putting the Christian understanding on them. And some of I'm going to start stalking you with verses now. There's some really lovely ones, is my point. It's literally antithetic. It's the antithesis of reading the Quran for me, like, which, like you say, made me feel heavy headed, like a bit thicker maybe, because I'm like, what? Apparently it's the most beautiful book in creation, and it's the most lovely song. And I've heard garage remixes. I've heard like dubstep that is like, I don't know, better than that sort of guttural like stuff. But yeah, I'll do that. So the question is, do you see? Oh, okay. Do you see the flow of apostasy like slowing down at all? Like, this is in your prophetic capacity. Like, and in all seriousness, actually, do you like? Why do you think it's happening more so? And do you feel like it's going to pick up pace, or maybe like continue the same? Because there's an avalanche, according to Mo Hijab, and that was from Armor of God, by the way.
Well, in all honesty, so many Muslim scholars and Muslim apologists have said that there is a rise in apostasy, and that the youth are leaving Islam and doubting Islam and turning toward other things. Of course, they're trying to also put this narrative on that many of those people just turn back to Islam and all that, just to try and put some hope in there. But it's a fact that in many countries, including Saudi Arabia, I know personally from Turkey, many authorities or religious people or preachers have talked about this as well. They said, hey, this is a serious problem. Our youth.
Yeah, I saw
doubting
Sheikh.
and
I
leaving
think I saw
Islam.
Faisal speaking about it. I've seen
I think the rise of the internet and of social media especially is really creating a huge avalanche of people leaving Islam. But in all honesty, I think some of the apparent rise of apostasy might also be due to the fact that that people were always leaving Islam, or there was always a chunk of the population that left Islam, but it wasn't visible. But now with the internet, they are coming out. But
I thought somebody came to me in Speaker's Corner on Sunday and asked, do you ever have experience of people actually leaving as a result of your ministry or your ministrations, even on them? The thing that I'm happy to say, I guess, is that there are quite a few Muslims in Speaker's Corner who are no longer Muslim. There are a couple who are Christianized or have accepted Christianity, but I feel like if this avalanche is of people who are openly apostatizing, then one needs to take into account the iceberg effect of all those who just keep their mouth shut for the sake of not being threatened and just having an easy life, not breaking their mother's heart potentially, or not losing the place in their family business. There are many not even cultural Muslims, they're apostates in everything but name. They still go along with stuff. So that's heartening.
I mean, there was this guy, Asadullah, who is an apologist. He said, he gave a speech, I think at a Muslim group somewhere, and he said that he personally knows hundreds of people who have left Islam, who are apostates, but who seemingly on the outside still identify as Muslims and even still go to the mosque and pray there and lead prayers there.
Yeah, I know some of them myself. It must be, gosh, it must be pretty stressful. I mean, leading any kind of double identity.
It is
pretty problematic anyway, but I guess if it means ensuring that you still are able to breathe and think about the stress you're under, as opposed to being dead.
Here is the issue. Look, Muslim culture, Muslim communities are very different from Western communities. In the West, you have a big emphasis on individualism and everyone for themselves, and you can do whatever you want and all that. In Islam, Islam is a very collectivist culture where everybody has to stay loyal to each other. You can't do your own thing. Doing your own thing is what are you doing? You are a traitor, basically. And most Muslims, I know this for a fact, I'm just very individualist and very freedom oriented, but most Muslims that I know, even if they don't believe in Islam, they wouldn't want to make this public, because although they want their own freedom, they don't want to ruin their entire lives and be
their
from all their friends and relatives
societally.
That's what it leads to, and that really discourages Muslims from making it public. It's not just physical threat, it's not just death, it's not just all the loss. It's it's the fear of being cut off,
ostracized,
to people that are your friends and families and relatives and all that.
Yeah. I heard Christian Prince speaking about it before in a few times. It's really I guess it boils down to, and I appreciate it's not as surface level or as kind of superficial as this, but all right, fair enough. That's a legitimate fear. I'm going to lose everybody I know. They're all going to turn on me, potentially try to honor kill me or whatever it is. But it begs the question, why do you value those people in the first place if your worth to them is solely based in a 7th century cult? You know what I mean? It's hard. If your mother would disown you for something, you've got to then question, well, how much does she love me as an individual? And I appreciate it's a non-individualistic cult. But that alone, just those thoughts must be like terribly troubling.
See, that's easy for you to say, and that
No,
was
I don't know. I
and that was
waffled a
my
bit there.
thought
So.
too, and that was my thought too. But
Mm.
what you have to see there is that those people who will shun you, they themselves are manipulated and fooled by this, and they feel pain while cutting you off, and they feel like they have to do this. They are forced to do this. They don't want to do this, but they are forced to do this. That's how they feel. They feel like this is what they owe to their loyalty to the Muslim community and to their God and to Muhammad. So, which is why they have to do that. And the thing is, you can't say, well, if they don't want me, then I don't want them. It's not that easy for the average person to say,
Speaking
because
as a
you're cutting
parent,
yourself off from everyone.
no, but the thing is, for me, I mean, not clearly, but I'll let you all know. I've been brought up in the West, and like in a Christian family. However, like just speaking as a mother who has had, like I wasn't always a strong Christian, but the fact is that I've spoken about it as a hypothetical. If my daughter like became a murderess, like how my reaction and what. But still, I would have less empathy for the victim at that stage, because my daughter is still my daughter. Like, I can't imagine there being a line that could be crossed whereby I would just like, and I appreciate that mental manipulation and neuro-linguistic programming and societal pressure, and like, for example, in Nazi Germany, there were Germans who seemed complicit, but they knew they would be in the camp if they spoke out. So it's that kind of pyramid scheme of torture, and yet still, I can't visualize it myself. I can't imagine disowning or like attempting to harm my own child because of an ideological disagreement.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bizarro world. It's very sad. But yeah, I think it boils down to love. Like Villainous was just saying in the chat, he was asking, is there any love there? Doesn't seem to be. Christianity can be like attacked in terms of, well, where's the love that you're commanded? Because some of the actions of purported Christians aren't very loving. And yet, I was thinking of like Westboro Baptist Church actually, but yeah, there's like in Islam where it, like, I don't think Allah even says he loves humans. I think he maybe says he loves Muslims.
Yeah, he doesn't say he loves humans. He says love is definitely not emphasized remotely as much as in the New Testament. I have to say, when I first read the New Testament after leaving Islam, I was kind of baffled, because it was a completely different tone and different sentiment, and I felt, I don't know, it felt very romantic, I guess. I don't know. That's
you should have got into a Song of Solomon. You should have. But let me tell you.
But the thing is, so the Quran, it doesn't emphasize love at all. The only thing that it says is occasionally, just in a few cases. I think there's about a dozen cases where it says Allah loves those who, or likes those who obey him, or who believe, or who are righteous.
But hasn't he guided them into doing what they're told in the first place, and misguided the ones he doesn't love?
Yeah, so and he also misguides people, and he says he does not love those
it's
who are
almost
misguided.
as if
he does not
AP,
love the disbelievers.
AP, it's almost as if it's a load of old shizzle. What do you reckon?
That's what I would say. Yeah.
You wouldn't have put it as eloquently, I bet, with a biscuit in your mouth.
Yeah. I don't.
Right, so any last questions? Anybody in the chat?
No, I mean, there were some super chats. Do you want to look at them? I think I can find.
I don't know how to get them because I'm using my phone as opposed to my.
I know you're a terrible person.
I am. That's what the Bible says as well. Isn't that weird? How you just know it, like instinctively. No, I can't even. Oh, it says more.
I can find those. Look,
hold on. It says broadcast info, layout. I'm scared to touch anything. I found the bit that says post comment, but I'm too scared.
I have found them. I can find one here. I can read one.
Look at this high tech dude. Yes, please.
Stop Scamming Man said like 1.5 hours ago. He said, if you read the Proto-Gospel of James, available in English in Bart Ehrman's book Lost Scriptures, you will find strong evidence Muhammad's marriage to Aisha would have been horrid to first century Judeans.
Yes, because of the argument that I often hear is, well, how old was Mary? And Rebecca also in the Old Testament. the sad fact for Islamic polemicists is, Muslim polemicists, there is no age given, and we can, bat mitzvahs are at womanhood, as it were, physically. Don't tell Ali Dawah, for goodness sake. But there's no reference to Rebecca being 3, is what I've heard. Some chronological events, I think, are taken into account, and they do a little bit of like, I don't know, skipping around and stuff. But even so, what makes it ironic is that they're using these arguments in a tit for tat. Well, if you're saying Muhammad's a bad guy, then we're going to say that whomever, like that Mary was only 11 or 12, and you're thinking, well, hold on a hot second. Why would you condemn the Bible for having things that are agreeable to Islam in it? But yeah, sorry, don't let me distract you.
I read the Protopostle of James. I don't understand exactly why first century Judeans would find the marriage between Muhammad and Aisha horrid. Am I missing something?
I think the comment would, well, I didn't read the comment myself, but I think what's being said by Stop Scamming Man is that if you read that, it's attestation to the fact that it wouldn't have been acceptable, and therefore the polemic against Christianity, that in Jesus' time, people, like, whatever the nonsense is, doesn't stand up. And that's a contemporary, well, not contemporary, pseudo.
Understandable. But Muhammad also lusted after babies, so that's a different discussion.
Wow. Him and Ali Dawah, it seems. So, I mean,
I mean, if the Prophet did it, then what's wrong with it?
Well, loads of stuff. Stop Scamming Man now says the claim Mary was 12 comes from the Protopostle of James. A priest says Joseph must marry. Hang on, it's skidded off.
Oh yes, okay.
Must marry Mary, and he's horrified. The marriage is also celibate, or I think like non-sexual.
Yeah. It says that Joseph did not touch her and did not
until after the birth.
Yeah. That's what it says. Okay, I remember. Now I get it. I understand.
Yeah, no, that's in the actual. That's in Matthew 1:25. That he didn't consummate, but. So the thing is that Mary would have been at real risk of being stoned to death for a start. Like, she was a non-married pregnant lady, even though she was betrothed. Within the Jewish marital system, there are like 2 phases. There's like engagement and marriage, similar to everywhere else. But they would have been a much longer period. Nowadays, I think you can have them both in the same ceremony, kind of thing. Like, just get it out of the way, less catering, less parties. But then you would have to read the scripture, like, in preparation and do what you're doing. And you can't turn up, obviously, looking like you've got a pillow up your jumper. So she was at real risk. He was reticent in as much as publicly allowing her to be shamed and by default stoned to death potentially. But then obviously it all worked out lovely in the end.
Yeah. Here's another super chat by Armor of God. Said, AP, do you get a dog to keep jinns out of your house? I guess you asked that question because you heard my dog bark somewhere.
I saw him in the last video.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I do. I got my dog because I just wanted to keep jinns out, and it works. Ever since I got a dog, nobody has been disturbing me here. So, or
recording your bad deeds or your good ones. What about, do you have any bells and pictures just to like complete the set?
I have, absolutely. Nice. And I want to get more dogs too. So
very nice.
Yeah, very, very nice.
Very nice. It's very cute. Like, yeah, on purpose. I feel intentionally cute. I start getting suspicious of dogs who are that cute. You're like, surely he's in the background chewing something up just to, I don't know, keep his reputation.
Yeah.
But yeah, any last questions or comments?
Any last questions? I would just say I really appreciate being here. I know it was not it was not a technically perfect stream.
No, Jabril, the little tinker.
Yeah, they got in between and really bothered the stream and all that. But I will be happy to come back here again, although it's not really sure. I don't really want to go live with Kay. It's like she always bothers me and
always annihilate
me.
him and
always humiliates
destroy
me. And
he never wants to debate me, everyone. Never. He just wants to chit chat, like as if he's in the gang, like as if he's got salvation. And unless he's really doing a double bluff, we've still got to like get him, everyone. Like with prayer.
I'm just trying to pass the time and distract from the fact that I'm not part of the
club. From global affairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just bored of speaking about vaccines.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's funny. So someone else says, hook us up with some of the money the Jews sent. I don't even know if they're talking to me. I don't know if they haven't sent me any. I'm not left wing, unfortunately. You can apply those. Soros has got an open society foundation.
I get a lot of money from Jews for
do you?
Islam. Yeah, I get.
Nice.
And they also make my videos, by the way. Like they
brilliant! Do they control the weather as well?
Yeah. Mossad. Nice. They set up my
Oh,
channel.
great!
They write my scripts. They make the weather nice for me, so I can easily record here. Yeah. So I'm
missing the trick. Yeah. And apparently, like I feel like I don't want to. Well, I'm just about to publicly say it, but I feel like Soko potentially is going to visit Israel. And when I mean Soko, I mean me, JC, and some others at some stage, like a World War III notwithstanding, and vaccine nonsense. But you'd be welcome to come, AP, obviously, if you're not terrified of flying.
Yeah, it's obviously my home country.
Exactly. I mean, you'd be welcome with open arms and yarmulke.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they'll just, what? You could join the IDF potentially, if you're like buddy.
Absolutely. I will consider that.
Nice. I mean, not the joining up with the IDF, but just the holiday. Would be really nice. But leave the dog at home because that gets silly otherwise.
I will. Okay.
Okay, so I'm waffling. It's official now. So I don't know how to end the stream from my phone. Yes, I do. There's a red button that says end. I just found it.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. It was an amazing stream, and I really enjoyed it. It is perfect. It's such a pleasure. And thanks, everybody. Stay away from Islam. You
sound like such a South London little youth. Oh my gosh, what have you been watching to get that 1970s version of wow? Oh my gosh, that was pretty impressive. I mean, you didn't break like it was phonetically it was correct, but it was from an awful Ealing comedy or something. I don't know. Britain, stop producing some better material for people to mimic. But thank you everybody for sticking with, I'd say us, but basically me and my technical problems. And maybe I'll try and chop the video up in order to have some little sound bites, but who knows. Right, so I'm going to press, there is no first button. As soon as I press it, everything dies, as it were. So I'm going to say God bless you, and science can bless you if it feels like it. I don't know, science has come up with a vaccine. Let's all have it right. So don't trust science. Trust your instinct. Use some critical reasoning, everybody. And I'm not saying I'm going to do an alley. I'm not saying no. I'm saying don't listen to science anyway. When did science get so reliable? After all these hundreds of years of finding out the last theory was wrong, and like that's what it's supposed to do. It's just theories, and they're designed to be superseded by a more correct version, like that marries up with reality.
Science is all wrong. Science is completely wrong. It's all wrong. Terrible.
Well, there's a prophet saying so.
Yeah.
So I mean, you better listen up, everyone. But on that bombshell of information, I'm going to end it, and I'm going to say thanks all for tuning in. God bless you all, or whoever bless you, whatever you fancy it.
Vaccine.
Stay away from war-torn regions, Islam, any controversial vaccine, with potential side effects, just try and stay healthy and alive, really. And also, most importantly, try and work out what you think about the creation of the universe and who did it, basically. And if you've got any questions, stick them in the comments section. Any questions about Christianity? I won't say I'm happy to answer because it might be a fib. I might be miserable that day, but I will still answer. So there's that. Right, stay away from Dawah nonsense and just fix up, everyone. All right, God bless you all. See you later. Bye.
Bye.